What's going on, everyone? This is Demetrius Tole. You know me, the host of not only Tole Live, but the host of Shop Talk. I want to welcome you to today's show. Today's show is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do, but today's show is definitely important and is definitely necessary. With that being said, let me let you know exactly what you're listening to. You're tuned in to Shop Talk. I think you got it. Now, those of you who are watching, those of you who are coming in, welcome. What I want you to do today is to make sure that you share today's stream because it's ever important. I want you to share it. Don't do a watch party, but share today's stream. And I want you to get as many people in because we want to get as many people kind of talking and chatting with us as possible because there's a lot of things going on. As you can see, I'm hanging out in downtown Oakland, got the Fox Theater in my background, and I am ready to make things happen. And in making things happen, there was one thing I need to let you know, that there is something that we all need to do in this time. And let me tell you what it is. Yeah. This is what we need to do. Thank you. Come on. Let's all of us do it. Let's pray. For the USA. You know it. That's it. Thank you, Sister Twinkie. Thank you, Sister Dorinda and others. We're grateful to have you. Let's jump into today's show. Today, we have an exciting show, but it's only exciting when I have other people hanging out with me. Obviously, I see people chiming in, and we'll start shouting people out as we go. But I want to bring on my co-host. Now, normally, I would go to El Sobrante first. But before I go to El Sobrante, let me retch out I will go to El Sobrante first. Now, I was getting ready to say something else, but as I'm getting ready to go to El Sobrante, aside from what we was getting ready to do with the show, let me just speak into the life of my first co-host in El Sobrante, California. I want to just let my sister Ashley know that today is going to be the start of a new chapter in your life. And in this new chapter, everything is about to change. In this new chapter for you, Ashlyn, everything is about to change. Your life as you used to know it will no longer be the same. After today, you'll no longer be the borrower, but you'll be the lender. After today, you'll no longer have to worry about if you have something on your calendar or not. After today, your phone is going to be ringing with people who want to hear a word from you because there is something on the inside of you that the world needs to experience. With that being said, let me bring on my first co-host. You know her, Ashlyn Tara Cole. Ashlyn?
I'm so mad at you. I put makeup on and now I'm getting ready to cry it off.
There's no need to cry. I am just so excited about this new season in your life. And I am so proud of you, so happy for you. And I can't wait for the whole world to experience and be able to say, you know what I'm about to do? I've come to know you in a very real way. Hey, Okay, my fault. Okay.
Hey.
All right, Ashley, welcome to the show. What is going on, my sister?
Man, I'm super excited. Today is a very, very big day. Of course, I cannot tell you all why it's a very big day, but just know that you will know. Eventually, you will know. What is that song? Yes, you will know. Stevie Wonder. Yes, you will know. Just hang in there. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm going to dry my tears now while you introduce these other co-hosts.
Oh, Jesus. My fault. That's my bad. Well, I'll tell you what we will do. Why don't we now bring on my home? Well, I tell you what, before we bring her on, what's happening this week on Better Together, Ashlyn? She's like, oh, yeah.
So this week this has been really interesting because of all that's going on, even just specifically in Oakland. Jacoree and I have been talking about this show. Do we want to change it? Do we want to, and so we're not going to change the show. We're going to go forward with the show as it is. And I actually have a very, very good friend of mine, Valari Humphrey. She is part of the Extreme Teachers organization that was started by Dr. Eric Thomas. And so she's going to come on and she's going to talk to us about what they're doing with the schools, because, the students are suffering and challenged through this time with their education. So we're going to sit down with her for 30 minutes and talk to her about the great summer program that she's working on, and so many other things.
That's awesome stuff. Well, can't wait to hear it. It's going to be absolutely amazing. That's tomorrow, Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on Freedom Radio. Listen, let's reach out to our G14 classified location, and my homegirl is hanging out with us. And I was just talking about her a few minutes ago that she is something else. I think she's Baptist or something like that. Anyway, she is the host of the ever popular High Tea with Bree, which airs on Thursdays at 11 a.m. An incredible show. My homegirl and yours is here, and that is Sabrina Bree, not Brianna Robertson. Sabrina, what's going on, child?
Good morning. I am laughing at you in my Baptist description. Good morning, everybody. I love you guys. If you guys want to know, unlike Ashling, I can tell y'all. So if you want to know what Tole is talking about, if you haven't seen the announcement for this week's High Tea with Bree, you guys, please tip on over to the High Tea page or my personal page, and you guys can see me in my Baptist moment that was caught without my knowledge. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. It's been a rough weekend, and nothing will make me feel better than being here with you all and the people that I love. So I'm looking forward to laughing and to healing and to lifting spirits today. Let's get it.
Most definitely. We got a great show lined up for you, and we're not going to be high tea with Bree the whole time. We're not going to be all controversial the whole time, but we do have some great things to talk about. Tell you what we're going to do. Why don't we retch out? I did say retch. Why don't we retch out to Greensboro, North Carolina, where everything is green? My homegirl and yours, we call her the country diva, Davares Burnett, who is preparing feverishly to, you see me expanding my vocabulary, she is preparing to get ready to bring a brand new show to the network as well, called Mix and Mingle. I can't wait to hear it, can't wait to experience it with you. But let's bring on my homegirl and yours, Davares Burnett. Davares, girl, what is going on?
Hello, my beautiful peoples. And I had to go ahead and hook my sister Ashlyn, because that song from Stevie Wonder, you should know, trouble heart, problems have solutions, trust and I will show. Oh, that was my jam, girl.
Yes, okay. That's it.
That's what that was. Girl, you sang my heart out today. I was like, I got to help her out with that part. Yes.
I appreciate you, sis.
I appreciate you.
Davares, now you sang something, Ashley sang something, I kind of sang something. Bree, what's
your turn?
Going on mute.
Oh, see what Bree do? Okay.
Oh, but let me pause that button, because we did hear a little throat ministry from her last week, because she kind of did a little, something like that last week. So we know the throat ministry.
It's in there.
Yeah,
so
it is in there.
She's a singer.
It is in there. Listen, you guys are hilarious. Let's bring on our next co-host who's hanging out with us in a new location, a new part of his what we'll call studio. And I love it. I think it's going to be great. My dude and yours, also the co-host of Better Together, the ever funny, incredibly talented, and very well known. My dude, Jacoree Proto, in the virtual building. Jacoree, man, what's going on, bro?
Good morning. Woo, Jesus, turn off the news and turn on Freedom Radio.
How about that? You know what? I ain't mad at it. Now, if you could have seen Ashlyn's face, I put it on you for a moment. If you could have seen Ashton's face when you accidentally hit the mic when you were trying to sing. Ashton is funny when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, you already know.
Yeah, I know that you know. So
look, I'm already getting ready to send him a text message, Detail.
It's a new studio, so
I'm getting ready to hook him up, Detail. I'm gonna hook him up.
I feel you. I feel you. Listen, today's show is going to be absolutely amazing. Let me let you know, we're doing all that we can to bring Freedom Radio to you the best way and in many ways as we can. Obviously, many of you are watching us right now on the Shop Talk page on Freedom Radio. Well, Shop Talk page on Facebook, forgive me. But not only can you see us here, you can also watch us live on YouTube. We're also streaming on YouTube as well. And if you have the Freedom Radio app, look how smart I'm is. If you have the Freedom Radio app, you can open the app. You can either listen to live and listen to the audio version, or inside of the Freedom Radio app is a YouTube icon. If you click on that YouTube icon, obviously you will then be able to see us live directly from the Freedom Radio app as well. We're doing all that we can to bring us to you in as many formats and as many ways as you can, and we are glad to be able to do that. Now, with that being said, we've got a bunch of people already hanging out with us. Let me just give a couple shout outs to some people that's hanging out with us that will take our first music break. And I promise you, we got so much to talk about, lions and tigers and stuff. Anyway, let me reach out to and let y'all know that my homegirl and my neighbor, Gloria Forbes Walters, is hanging out with us. She has let us know that she has shared today's show on her Facebook network. I gotta do that myself. Anyway, thank you, Gloria, for hanging out with us and doing that. Andrew Brian Caldwell in the virtual building as well, hanging out with us. My cousin. Derek.
Hey, cousin. Hi, cousin. Derek. Hi, Derek, cousin.
Here we go. Here we, Sabrina. Okay, we're gonna have a conversation. Anyway, shout out to my cousin out in Texarkana, Derek Murphy in the virtual building. My other neighbor, Ty McClain in the virtual building. My friend, my brother, and as well as a great one of my constituents from my church, the elder Jared Lott in the virtual building as well. Songstress, and now I just seen her on Facebook. She just recently did a song with Lil Wayne. I ain't mad at it, girl. Expand your library. My homegirl and yours, Leah Marie, in the virtual building as well. Of course, my dude, Casey Pringle Jr., also hanging out with us. We'll try to put some more of their music in today's format. Some more friends of mine and some more constituents from Glad Tidings, Xavier and Cynthia Garrison, hanging out with us as well. And so many. Oh, Ashlyn, my homegirl and yours, is now on. Benita Adams Jones.
Hey, Benita Adams Jones, you gotta put me on. Benita Adams Jones, you just gotta put me on. Benita Adams Jones, you gotta put me on. Benita.
Benita Adams Jones also in the virtual building. And hey, and welcome to my other cousin, my dude. What's going on, man? Michael Williams in the virtual building out in Modesto, California. Aisha McFadden Jackson also in the building as well. We've got people hanging out from everywhere. Again, if you'll do us a favor and just hit the share button on the video so you can get even more of your friends and family and ours to join us on today's show. Now, before we go to the music break, Ashlyn wanted to get my attention. What is going on, sis?
It's not too many shop talks that I miss. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to duck out because I just got the ding, ding, ding that I need to be on standby. And so I got to peace out. I will be listening, though, because I do have that option. But I love you all so much. Thank you all for the support and the prayers. And hey, let's get it. Let's get it. Y'all just keep thinking that. Let's get it. Let's bring it on home, baby. Let's bring it home.
Yes.
We appreciate you hanging out with us, and we can't wait for you to officially share what is happening in your life. All right, y'all. Not only are we going to let her go, and that's all good. We'll talk to her real soon. But let's get ready to take our first music break. And Bree, today's first music break has you in mind. So let's take a listen to this just for Bree because she's hanging out with us and because she's so Baptist-costal. We're going to take this music break just for her, and we'll be right back with more right after this.
I'm so glad your love will stay, 'cause I love you, and you show me, Jesus, oh, what it really means to love. Word that comes and goes, but few people really know what it means to really love somebody. Oh, love, though the tears may fade away, I'm so glad your love will stay, 'cause I love you. And you show me, Jesus, what it really means to love. The nights that I cried, you loved me. When I should have died, you loved me. Never know why you love me. It's a mystery to me now. I'm glad to see Jesus. What it really means, what it really means, what it really means to love. What it really means to love, to love, oh, to love. Do you really know what it means to love? To love, ah, to love, to love, to love, to love. Do you know what it means to love? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, to love, to love, ooh, to love. Do you know what it means when it's hard to love, when you can't see love, when you don't wanna love, you gotta love. So do you know what it means to love?
All right, y'all, we are back. We are back. Welcome back to Shop Talk, where literally no person and no subject is off limits. Want to give a shout out to our DJ back in the back who is working hard, trying to make things happen, and his multitasking may not be his best thing, but we're going to pray for him as we go throughout today's show. All right, y'all. Listen, I don't know about you, but I'm excited about this opportunity to hang out with y'all. And I am grateful to make things happen. Now, before we jump into birthdays, any of that kind of stuff, shout out to Mrs. Kennedy, who is hanging out with us now as well. Listen, what is going on in the world today? I just want to know, and let's bring a couple of our people back up. What in the world is going on in the world today? First of all, our thoughts and prayers are going out to all the families that have been affected by all of these things that have happened. Obviously, most of us have been reacting and acting based on what happened last Tuesday out in Minneapolis, that incredible crime that was done. I still can't believe it. That and there's so many layers to what happened out in Minneapolis. But from Minneapolis to now, so many other things have happened, including the fact that people obviously are protesting. I get the protest, but aside from protesting, people are now looting and breaking into places and doing things that are crazy. Now, I'll come back to the looting in just a second. In the city where I live, people were talking about that people went up to the Oakland Zoo and were getting ready to let the lions and tigers and stuff go. Now, Bree, come on now. You from
give a whole new meaning to who let the dogs out, huh?
I mean, just real. I mean, if now, obviously, at the end of the day, the lions and tigers were all accounted for. Even though I heard that there were people talking about they seen a tiger going down 98th Avenue. But still, I mean, the mere fact that people was talking about it was false. But who would have been doing something like that?
So let me say this. While it is bizarre and shocking and radical, in a day and time where animals' lives are viewed as more valuable than the life of an African American or a man of color, I could see someone thinking that radical. You want your animals? Well, here you go. Boom. Take your animals. Take that. Not saying that it's okay, but I can definitely see how some, radical mind might come to the conclusion that this might make a statement.
So, and the funny thing is, now let me just talk to everybody that's listening. If you thought that if it actually was true that the zoo animals was released, trust and believe Ray, Shay, Day, them, Nuck, them, Pojo, them, they had nothing to do with it. I can tell you that. So, I mean, this whole thing is really going crazy. And even Davares even mentioned out in her area. What seems to be happening in your area, Davares?
So we had protests, and they went downtown and threw a brick in every single business window downtown. They burnt down Mattress Firm, which was nowhere close to the protest. They burnt down the courthouse. They blocked off I-40. And and it's been going on for 2 days. Like during the day, the protests are, very somber and peaceful. But it seemed like when nighttime happened, black time, people act like they lose their mind. But I also believe there's agitators in the building. Absolutely. That is making it seem like it is us. And we have seen countless, pictures and videos of others, tearing up businesses and stuff and, blaming it on us. So I'm glad we're still videotaping that because that's real talk. But it's crazy here. Like, seriously.
Yeah, that's real talk. I mean, Bree, and Jacoree. I mean, Jacoree, where you are, I know you're out in a little bit of what we consider to be the suburbs, but I mean, a lot of things have been happening. I mean, Guitar Center in Emeryville was broken into. I could not believe what I saw. Yeah. Guitar Center was broken into in Emeryville, and literally they took everything. And it was heard. Casey Pringle is on. He's with me. It was mentioned that at Emeryville at the Guitar Center, there was a pastor involved in that.
No.
What was he doing? Getting a sound system for the church? I mean, I'm just trying to figure what could have possibly been happening, Jacoree.
I guess the church needed new tambourines, huh?
Come on,
you stupid. You silly.
I just can't believe that that is getting to this point. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand the protesting. That part I get. And there's a way for us to have our voice heard. There's a way for us to protest that doesn't cause us to loot and rob people and all kinds of stuff. I mean,
well, they even broke into the Civil Rights Museum, which is downtown, which, you know, we have a lot of history dealing with, you know, very prominent things that Black people have done in this city alone, especially with the 4, you know, college students from A&T for the sit down in Woolworths. They broke into that. They crashed the windows on that. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It's not correlating. I'm confused, you know, and confusion, of course, is not of God, it's of Satan. So we just got to find some way to balance this thing out. And others are taking advantage of this time that we're trying to speak. I saw a note somewhere that somebody said, you better be glad Black people just want equality and not, you know, revenge. So that was poignant for me because that's all we always wanted. And here it is. You keep having these times. We have, you know, beautiful times that we can speak about what we've been dealing with. Generation. And then you got these agitators that come in and just destroy and chip. And, you know, they had a whole thing of bricks that just all of a sudden popped up. Hey, y'all go over there to get the bricks. What? You had a police officer dressed in all black, breaking the windows at Target. Wow. And he come and I knew that they do that because they had the umbrellas that they protect themselves from the scanners from up top. So, I mean, it's sad.
It's a different level of violence, though, because I know I've had to actually have conversations with some of kids 10 and under because they're scared. They don't. I mean, first of all, you done took them out of school. Now, you know, you got to wear a mask everywhere you go. Now, all of a sudden, I can't even go outside in the stores that I usually go to because in a minute, we ain't going to even be able to go to the grocery store.
Sure. Well, they just don't have no grocery store to go to.
Well, yeah, because they just they looted the Lucky's and what was that, San Leandro?
Oh my God!
So I'm just like, ain't nobody scared of nothing. The animals is actually out, not the ones at the zoo, though.
Yeah, I will say this: there's a level of rage, like you know, Jacoree said, this is something different. There is a level of rage and frustration when you mix that with hopelessness. You lose sense of rationale, right? I will say this, I said this yesterday, all they had to do was arrest the cops. We wouldn't even be here right now.
True.
So for everybody that's, you know, up in arms and, you know, you people are acting like this and you people are acting like that, all you had to do was the right thing. We wouldn't be here right now.
Agreed.
I agree with you.
So when you do the what came first, chicken or the egg, arrest the cops.
Arrest the cops.
You want this to stop? Arrest the cops.
Well, let me ask y'all this. And, you know, Sabrina and Jacoree, obviously both of you guys are here in our area. And again, Jacoree just mentioned the fact that they looted in the Lucky's in San Leandro. Let's think this through. Let's talk this out. Somewhere down the line, they're going to have to replenish that.
Right.
And it's going to cost more to replenish it because they got to start from scratch.
Exactly.
Who do you think those replenishing funds are going to be passed down to? It's going to be passed down to us that have to go to the store. So instead of us now paying, you know, let's say $1 for a bag of rice. Well, now they've had to replenish everything. Now instead of us paying $1, we have to pay $3.50 or maybe potentially $5 for a simple bag of rice, all because y'all wanted to loot and do all these crazy things and I just think the whole thing is crazy. I don't think that we're thinking about the repercussions.
Absolutely not.
The decisions we're making. Bayfair, across the street from that Lucky's. Bayfair, they went to the little shoe store now. I'm DSW. I mean, I'm watching videos of people looting and taking stuff out of the the shoe store, DSW. And I got people calling me, "Hey, what size you wear?" What? No. I don't want none of that stuff.
Nah, we good.
I'm liable to get you liable to give me a pair of shoes that you stole and my feet liable to fall off. I'm just saying.
You catch on fire.
Yeah. But you want to know what's really funny to me is
about the repercussions of everything and making things happen. Now, Ashlyn, who is kind of in and out with us right now. Ash, I mean, from your perspective, I don't want to just, mention.
No. Look, I was listening to you guys and I was like, let me just take a minute and jump back on here because I have, I'm not going to say I have a lot to say, but I have something very specific to say. And it's to people that look like me. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to fight for, equality and equal rights and when there's wrongdoing. So definitely in this situation, I agree with what you're saying that, when you say all they needed to do was arrest the officers. However, until people that look like me stand up and start making change in the White House, on the civil level, start speaking up for the inequality, because the argument, which runs me crazy, anytime you say Black Lives Matter, then people that look like me are like, well, Blue Lives Matter too. Well, here's the thing. Yes, all lives matter, but until Black lives are viewed as equally as important, those are the lives that we need to pay attention to. That's why we say Black Lives Matter. So it was very shocking to me that I heard so many clear people not really understanding what's really going on. They're like, well, what did he do to cause them to? I heard these conversations like, are you kidding me? Like, this was completely inhumane. So my plea, and there's a gathering. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it virtually or something, but there is literally a white people's gathering this week in the Bay Area.
Can I come?
Yes, you may. Because
I got called racist over the weekend because I used the term white privilege.
Well, white privilege.
And a white lady called me racist.
It's a thing. White privilege is actually a thing.
Real.
And see, we can't possibly know. There's no possible way. Look, I have biracial children. So in essence, I have a Black son and a Black daughter, right? So I think about their safety. But my daughter and I talk about this all the time. There's no way for me to know what the experience is like. I can be empathetic. I can be compassionate. I can agree with it. There's just no way. So until we step out of our color blindness, I don't believe that there's going to be change. Like, the change is going to have to happen on this side. And it's very frustrating for me because I was raised by two civil rights activists and I was on the picket lines, Rainbow Coalition, all the rest of it. So for me, like, take to the streets and make change. But the way that the streets are looking right now that's not what that means. That's not
dangerous.
Yeah.
So let me ask this. Let me say this. I don't know if you guys know this, and I want to take a moment first of all and shout out my son. We had a long conversation over the weekend, and we were talking about the fact that he never tunes in. And so let me just put his thing on the screen. He said, "I just want to say to my pops, don't say I didn't get on here." Okay. Shout out to Demetrius Tole Jr., my son, who is actually viewing us today and hanging out for the first time. For the first time in forever. Anyway, I don't know if you guys knew this part though. I just got this and saw it on Instagram. Somebody stole a police horse.
Oh yeah.
What are we gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with a police horse? You know what I'm saying? I've seen people in Modesto just go up and knock over a police motorcycle and start running. What are you going to do? What do you plan to accomplish by doing that? My whole thing is, if we're going to protest, let's protest and let's protest wisely. Let's make wise decisions and choices in what we're doing. And let me throw this little hint out there. It is being said, and I can't confirm or deny, but it's being said that the looting and everything that's going on with that is not being initiated by us.
Right.
And there is a group of people who are using this as an opportunity to be able to loot, and has nothing to do with the protests. I mean, Sabrina, tell me what you're thinking about that.
Well, you know what? If I can just back up just a second, and I promise I'll go there. Ash, I really appreciate the statement that you just made. And I think that the change that needs to happen what needs to happen to be a catalyst for change is twofold. It's absolutely what you said. But I also think that there needs to be a change in law enforcement. I think the law enforcement officers need to start calling out wrong from the inside out. And I think that also would help, because there's a lot of people standing by knowing that it's wrong, but they are not saying anything because that's their brother in blue. I think they need to start speaking up and standing up for what's right as well.
Absolutely. And I heard a statement over the weekend that says if you have 100 good police officers and you have 10 corrupt, I'll use the word corrupt, or racist police officers, if the 100 that are good don't stand up and get those 10 out, now you have 110 corrupt or racist police officers. It can't be that way anymore. Wrong is wrong. And I will say that the reaction that is bordering ridiculousness, Dito, as you said about stealing tigers or horses, I mean, whatever, it's equal to the ridiculousness of how this man was treated. How Black men and women are treated in America is ridiculous. And so the reaction is equally as ridiculous. And so, I can't say, I always say, if you want to hit them where it hurts, hit them economically. Pull your money out of the pockets of companies that have said nothing. Go on Twitter and see what companies have said. This is awful. Netflix, I can tell you, they made a statement. So they're going to still get my $14.99 a month. But the companies that have said nothing, where's AT&T? Where's Safeway? I hate to say it, but where's Trader Joe's? Where are these companies? We want to know where you stand on this issue, because we're going to decide one way or the other whether you're going to get our grocery money or the man down the street or the farmer's market is going to get our money, because we know where they stand. That's how it needs to get. It needs to get to the point where you take your money out of those pockets that are not making change. It's ridiculous. And that's how you're going to start making change. So when they burn these buildings down, guess what? They're not going to have any money coming in. So they hit them economically. So I can't say that I'm mad at that action, because that's where the real change is going to happen.
I think also what we need to do too is start preparing our children to help understand what's going on now. And a lot of this change also can happen in law making ways too. So we can go ahead and prepare our children to see this is what's going on. If we can get more of us into, the law decisions, that's another way that we can also, uplift us in a way that it's been, pinned for us not to succeed in life. So if we can start there with my babies is asking questions. Okay, so what do you think you can do? Everybody's not going to be a lawyer. Everybody's not going to be, a politician, but it's a possibility that you can be now. Because you can add to help us, not being discriminated, because you're in there. If it's more of us in there, we can have more laws to protect us versus laws that is coming against us. So that's another way we can help with our children to be able to be more proactive and, be a part of something bigger when they can't do anything right now. So that's another way too. Cause I'm talking to my babies. I said, look, the Senate, being the mayor, go all the way to Supreme Court. Let's look in those ways too.
And I think to top that all off, the state of the church, we want the church to be open for a Sunday service, but what we really need the church to be open is to sit down and teach some things.
Right.
It's so many. I mean, all of this going on in Oakland, and you don't see the pastors standing up for what I feel as though they should be at this time. You want to have a service, you want to have all of this going on. No, open the doors of the church, get these people in here, and let's teach them something. Because the bottom line is we have such a gap in respect, teaching, lack of parenting. That's why because if you actually watch Facebook, you get better news than you do on channel 2, 4, and 7. But if we seeing that we've had a lack of teach, that's why you got all of these young people running around. Because my thing is right now, I'm upset because even if my grandmother was to go out there, they wouldn't listen to her. They would look at her and just keep going. Where's the respect even in the Black community?
Right.
It's gone.
Yes.
Agreed.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to acknowledge the fact that even though there's a lot of ridiculousness happening, and like Jacoree said, that's what mainstream media is showing us, there are also some beautiful moments. There are some police officers out there that are doing the right thing. I think it was Santa Cruz Police Department. Their entire police department took a knee in solidarity and bowed on the street corner, and that literally brought tears to my eyes. They also showed someplace in the country, and I can't remember right now, where a line of white women joined hands and linked arms and stood in front of the protesters to protect them from the police. There were also some Black brothers, some strong Black kings who came to the rescue of a police officer who got separated from his officers, and they protected him from the protesters. So there's some beautiful moments out there as well. And mainstream media, they're not going to show us that. So when we see it, we have to share it. Now, on a funnier note, Bonita said that they was breaking into the Cheesecake Factory and stealing whole cheesecakes. And she wanted the world to know that ain't our people.
Definitely wasn't.
It definitely wasn't Bree.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to run my sugar up, while I'm protesting. It's all good. Here, listen, here's what we're going to do. You guys are hilarious. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go out to Ashland. Yeah.
Real quick, I just want to say that if you have not registered to vote, because we did say that, and I want to just tarry there for 1 second. I did post a link on the Facebook thread. Please, ma'am, please, sir, register to vote. Make it your commitment in the next 3 or 4 months to get everybody to register to vote. Register 10 people a day. That's my challenge. Get 10 people that you know every day to register to vote. And then that's when Jacoree, I've seen the churches do this, where we get together and we have meetings of the round table, right? We get the communities together and we educate one another on who to vote for and who not to vote for, which, all the letters and the numbers that you may or may not know, they can be so confusing. So Get some clarity. Get with some people who you agree with and learn who to vote for and who not to vote for. Shout out to George Hines for posting that as well. Vote. Because right now we don't have a president. Okay, did I say that out loud?
It's the truth.
Okay, it's cool.
I did. We don't even have a president. It's not my president no more. We just don't even have a president.
We have a socialist.
It's open.
The zoo is open.
Well, I tell you what, I appreciate all of you guys for jumping in on this. The whole world is just going crazy. And if you notice, now we're still in coronavirus.
That part.
We've got all of these people now. We from the news standpoint, we've left coronavirus and people are still dying from this. People are still contracting the virus. And now all the attention has been put on to all of this craziness has been going around, literally around the country and now around the world. Now, it's not as crazy outside of the United States. I did see some peaceful protests happening in some other different countries, and I've seen some people posting it, like MC Light and BB Winans. They were posting where people were in other countries, and they were peacefully doing what they had to do. But it's crazy. Like I saw, my son showed me last night where people were trying to attack a guy in a gas truck, a diesel truck with gas in it, and they getting on top of the truck while the man is trying to work and trying to drive and do what he needs to do. Things is getting crazy. I mean, one match would have tore everything
that
up.
Part.
Just one match. I mean, why get on top of a gas truck while he's driving and trying to do what he got? It's just crazy, So, tell you what, we're going to get ready to take a quick music break, and in this particular music break, we are going to focus on one of our sisters and one of our Bay Area artists that is facing some physical challenges. But I promise you, as I told Ashland, as I told Demetrius, when they was going through something similar, that they weren't going through it by themselves, and they definitely wasn't going through it for themselves per se. They're going through it to be a testimony, and I can't wait to hear the testimony of our sister. Listen, let's listen to this song from our homegirl, Tamara Edwards. We'll be right back with more, y'all, right after this.
but you. That freed me from my past and all that I've been through. Lord, I just want to be used as a living example of proof of what your grace looks like when we surrender our hearts to you. I want the rest of my life to show that God's love can change your life for sure. My Lord, I feel you changing me. My Lord can change it too. I just want to be different. My lifestyle to be different. In all my ways be different. I want to do it your way. I just want to be different. My lifestyle to be different. And I'm okay with being different. 'Cause I'ma do it all God's way. Don't want my life to be vain, that's why I'm telling you. It's not about what you say, but it's all about what you do. Just go to him on your own. My Savior's blood can make you whole. He died that you may live to be a vessel he can use. I want the rest of my life to show. Come on and follow Christ.
My game, fill me with zeal and desire, trying hard to live right, giving God the glory for my morning news and nights. Look, I had my own plans, things I just wanted to do. Wasn't trying to please God, I was trying to please you. Giving off an illusion of the Trinity fusion, so far from free. Now I'm just trying to be me. I want the rest of my life to show. You need to follow Christ.
That is Tamara Edwards with her song called Different. Welcome back to Shop Talk, where literally no person and no subject is off limits. Glad to have all of you hanging out with us. So many things that's happening around. I was laughing at my son who said that they're selling a monkey for $10,000 right now. That's not us. That's not us trying to sell a monkey. I promise you, because I don't even want a monkey to touch me. I'm just saying. I just thought I'd put it out there for free. I don't even want to be touched. by
keep your monkey away from me.
Yeah, right. Just thought I'd throw it out there for free. I'm cool. Anyway, listen, welcome back, everybody. Let's jump into some birthdays. And man, I don't know what was going on in November. Actually, let me see. November, October. I got to carry the one. Anyway, but I got a bunch of birthdays today. And so let me give some shout outs to some birthdays and let some people know that I am thinking about them on their birthday. Shout out to my cousin, Al Cheney. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday to Henry Dillahunt. Today is his birthday as well. Didn't know this. So Henry Dillahunt, as well as Winton Anderson, my dude. Today is his birthday.
Sorry.
Okay, thanks, Bree. Shout out to Red Hat, Dan Slaughter Jr., Felicia Curtis, Jasmine Strange turned 47. To my cousin down in Los Angeles, Crystal Dior. Happy 37th birthday to artist Richard Davis. Happy birthday to Anita Holmes. 47th birthday to my homegirl, Shanae Hawkins. 43rd birthday to Dole out in Atlanta. 59th birthday to Kelvin McGee. Happy birthday to Rika Gregg. 34th birthday to Adrian Witherspoon. I'm sorry, I got a bunch of birthdays. Happy birthday to Yvette McNamee, Mel Perry out in Houston, my dude Chris Bolton out in Los Angeles, and last but not least, my cousin Layla Cotton. I had a laundry list of people. All right, Sabrina, you have any birthdays you want to share?
I do. I definitely want to wish a happy birthday to my baby brother, Pastor Winton Anderson. He is celebrating his birthday today. Also, along with D Young, who turns 61 today. Brielle Sampson, who is one of my cousins, is 45 today. Jasmine Strange is 47. Shani Hawkins is 47. And Latoya Nix. And one of my nieces in Louisiana, Lala Laurent, is celebrating her birthday today. And I'll let, is Ash here? Is she going to do celebrity birthdays?
No, she gone. So you can do it if you
want.
All
right. Well, Mark Curry, according to this, is celebrating a birthday today. Comedian Mark Curry.
So
that's
good.
all I got.
Awesome. Glad to have that. Thanks for sharing that. Shout out to my dude, Pastor Chris Williams, the pastor of the church at Antioch, who was tuned in today. What's going on, my brother? Glad to have you, man. My homegirl out in North Carolina as well, graphic designer extraordinaire, Yolanda Morant, in the virtual building as well. Gay Harris, not sure if I mentioned her a little bit earlier. Let me stop just long enough to say, Sabrina, that the weekend or from last week to now, not only is Gay Church of God in Christ, but now become apostolic, as she has got a new iPhone, and she even has a new.
You're so crazy.
And she is team Apple right now. So I'm glad to have her. Can't wait to open up my arms to welcome you, Sabrina.
I'm coming slowly but surely.
Okay, it's all good. Now I think you do at least have an iPad, right?
I have an iPad, I have an iPhone, and God so richly blessed me with the best wireless earbuds. When I tell you I love them, I mean, like I just pet them sometimes.
Oh, you have some earbuds?
Uh-huh.
Well, look at what the Lord has done. Thank you, Lord Jesus.
I mean, he's moving by his spirit. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes, and he's moving through all the earth. Don't challenge me with Church of God in Christ vernacular. I know it. All right, that's awesome. All right, Davares out in North Carolina, what birthdays might you have today?
I only have two today, which you have already spoken about. Richard Davis, he's 37, and Gene Burt, he has turned 39 today. So happy birthday to you.
Most definitely. So to all of you, we've lost Ashton for the moment. I don't know what happened to Jacoree. Anyway, but for all of you who are hanging out with us and for all of you having a birthday today, we are glad to be able to help celebrate this birthday with you and just shed a little sunlight and sunshine onto your day. And I hopefully know that you will enjoy it regardless of what's going on. Is there a difference between regardless and irregardless? Anyway, regardless of what's going on in the world, just take a moment, have a woosah moment, go out and get some fresh air and enjoy your birthday the best way that you can. All right. Now, with that being said, we've got a lot of things still going on. And I see people starting to chime in. Derek Murphy, who is still Team Android. We're praying for him. Garrison, who also is Team Android. We're praying for her as well. There is a deliverance in the room. And before long, I feel this apostolic anointment that is coming upon me and can't wait to share it with even more. Now, Jacoree.
This is funny.
You took a little bit of a break. Now, did you have any birthdays you wanted to share before we move on?
I know I have Winton. I had I forgot to plug the computer in and it went all the way down.
Oh, is that what happened?
But happy birthday, everybody.
I got you. I'm not mad at you. I was like, he just all of a sudden left. He didn't say bye.
I said, ooh.
That's all good. Well, glad to have everybody back hanging out with us. And thank you, Morgan. Morgan helped me out. And I asked a minute ago, what's the difference between regardless and irregardless? And she says that irregardless is not a word. Well, thank you, Morgan.
Right. Literally don't say that. I was.
Yeah, but I was gonna let it ride too. So
no.
Yeah,
I don't say irregardless, but I've heard people as I've grown up, in church. I've heard preachers and pastors and evangelists when they preaching, and I don't care what's going on in your life, but irregardless to what the devil. Wait, is that?
Come on.
No, that's not a word.
Yeah.
So can I ask you guys a question just based on that? When people mispronounce words, do you tend to correct them or do you just let it go?
See, I used to just let it go, but now that I've been hanging around you and Dion a little bit more, listen.
Because I am my brother and my sister's keeper. I can't have you out there screaming irregardless, especially over a pulpit. No, sir.
What the devil does, irregardless, you can yet make it in life. Well, hold on, preacher. Regardless.
Irregardless.
So, I got people hanging out with us. Shout out to my Michael Williams, who hit me up again, and he asked me, where did I get this T-shirt? Yes. So today's T-shirt, I'm trying to promote positivity. And in doing so, I am wearing a T-shirt that simply has the words that says, holiness, thank you, Lord Jesus. Standard by God today. Yes, it is. And I got this song. Lord have mercy. I must have
Sing it.
I got this T-shirt from my friends at Dope and Holy. They sent me a few different T-shirts, and I was going to mention them, Michael Williams. So thank you for bringing and pointing that out. So dopeandholy.com is where this particular T-shirt came from. It's a young lady based out of the Sacramento area, and she has a bunch of T-shirts. I actually have one that says Dope and Holy. I have this one that says Holiness is the Standard. I have another one that says Be Oily. Thank you.
Okay.
You understand? And I've got a bunch of them, and so I'm grateful to have this T-shirt on. So dopeandholy.com is where you can get these type of T-shirts. All right, y'all. Now it's time for us to get ready for today's One Has to Go.
Oh my!
Now Sabrina sent me one. I'm gonna do hers next week. I'm gonna do yours next week.
Chicken.
I know. We are gonna do hers next week and make this happen. But I do have one that I want to do today, and I hope y'all don't use words that y'all don't know. Well, ain't no telling some of y'all, because Sabrina showed me a side of her Saturday. I was like,
"Oh, Sabrina."
Listen, let me tell you something. When you got kids and grandkids,
I was raised Baptist.
It's okay. It's okay, but you don't have to apologize. When you have kids and grandkids all up under the same roof, and that you trying to work on something, and they just won't let you get it done, you never know what you might say. I don't know what I'm going to do. When my kids start cutting up and stuff, and I'm saying I'm on the phone, they don't care, and they start making more noise and screaming. And listen, I don't usually cuss.
Oh, Shando.
I really don't. But Wednesdays, which is the middle of the week, you never know what may happen if you talk to me crazy on a Wednesday. You never know what may happen. You don't know what I'm going to go through. Anyway, let me just say that I want to jump into today's One Has to Go. And hopefully y'all don't cuss me out on this. Today's One Has to Go is based around movies that we all have seen.
Okay, now.
It goes a little something like this. Today's One Has to Go. Friday, House Party, Coming to America, or Life. One has to go. Give it to you again, and then we'll go around the room. Friday, House Party, Coming to America, which is one of my favorites. She's your queen to be. To them lyrics, that boy said, completely free from infection.
Yes.
And at your discretion.
Yes.
And only for your direction.
That will preach.
To be. Listen, them are some lyrics right there. But aside from that, we also have Life. Now, I know which one for me has to go, but Jacoree, let's start with you. One has to go. What are you going with?
Coming to America is staying nationwide. But Friday and House Party definitely sit with me because, I'm kind of young. So Life could actually go, although it did have some teachment in there, if I could use my own word. But Life can go because I'm living life.
Yeah.
Flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you, because if one had to go for me, Life would have to be the one to go. I have Coming to America on my phone, like travel. If I'm, in a car, I could pull up Coming to America on my phone because I bought and paid for it. You understand? So yeah, I do have Life too on my phone, but I never watch it. If I could get a laugh or hee hee ha ha, even though I know all the words to Coming to America,
Go finish your cornbread.
I'm cool on Life. But so Davares, which one for you would have to go?
It's gonna have to be Life because it was cute. I like it, but I have pinnacle moments in my life, like
Yes.
coming to America. That allowed me to see Africa in another way. You know what I'm saying? We can be rich and beautiful and do things extravagant. House party. Look, I knew how to do some dances off of that, watching off of that. And I've been to some house parties. I had my own house party that actually got shut down by the police, but we ain't gonna talk about that. And so that was relatable. Friday was the only one that wasn't relatable, but it was funny because, you know, I never smoked weed, but it was funny to watch that whole paradigm of weed smoking, and it's just all covered in one day. It was funny. So life has to go for me because I wasn't, it was funny, but I wasn't down with the whole, you know, go fish your cornbread. I was over there by, so yeah.
I know. I feel, you know what? Honestly, I picked life, but I like all Fridays. I like Friday, next Friday, Friday after next. I like all of them. The first Friday wasn't as good for me. The other two after that was better for me. You know.
I agree.
Yeah, but so I mean, I'm gonna stick with life. But
my neck and my back was hilarious. I mean, come on, that was pinnacle. My neck, my back, my neck and my back. That was hilarious.
I feel you. I get it. And we're going to get to our people on Facebook in just a second. But Bree, let me ask you, which one for you would have to go?
Well, since I spend most of my days walking around asking people if they're going to eat their cornbread, because, you know, we ain't going to let no good cornbread go to waste, I would say house party for me. House party for me. And I know you're going to get to Facebook, but it looks like a lot of people will agree with me. But yeah, house party got to go. It was just silly.
Hold on. Let me pull this. Let me pull this thing down.
Right.
And look at all.
You gonna eat your cornbread or your peach or your peach cobbler or that last piece of fish. You gonna eat all them fries.
You gonna eat it.
And I want to, you know, different people are chiming in. So let's put some of these things up on the screen and make it easy. Yolanda Morant chimes in and she says that it's easy, that it would be life. However, my cousin Michael Williams, hey man, I got a new bike, pedal bike. I see you have yours. When we going bike riding, bro, we got to make it happen. I went yesterday, my back was hurting, but I woke up this morning, my back was good.
Come on now.
I'm getting my big tail back on my bike. Let's make it happen. But he chimes in and says, house party. Denisha Sexton Dude says life has to go. We have Deja Georgiana. What's up, sis? Glad that I'm sorry, that's my son's friend. Anyway, Deja, what's up, Deja? I'm so happy to see her. She says that life has to go. I'm not mad at it. Gay chimes in and says that house party has to go. And then my cousin, Derek Murphy chimes in and says, now, don't take my black card, but I've never seen life, so it has to go. Wait a minute, cuz.
Yeah, that's your cousin.
Yeah, you got oh. Did she fish him back to you?
Cuz we got to watch life.
We'll be back related next segment.
That's funny. We may have to do a Zoom and put life on the screen for on Zoom and make it happen. Anyway, Leah Marie says y'all being so disrespectful to Ray's Boom Boom Room. I understand. Anyway, Derek comes back and says, I know coming to America backwards and forwards. Yes, I do, cuz I do as well. And let's
that
see.
in Harlem's Night.
Oh
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
We can all cuss that movie. Hallelujah.
That part.
that's
Shoot your pinky toe off. Yes.
don't shoot me in my pinky.
Pinky
Right.
toe.
Anyway,
Shut
but she chimes in and she says that I like them all, but if one had to go, it would be house party. Yolanda Morant further says that life, the movie, is depressing. I get it. And
I get it.
George Hines, my dude, what's up, man? Says that Friday and Coming to America are staples. I feel you. I ain't mad at it. And of course, we felt that you gonna eat your cornbread. Yes,
That's right.
Yeah. Most people, when I ask them, they say yes.
Huh? Yeah, I know. I'm
Whenever I ask them if they gonna eat their stuff, they say yeah.
Yeah. Well, unless you have Bailey. Now, when Bailey comes around, she puts her finger in it and then asks you.
Oh,
wow. But hey,
I
that's
need to start that.
proactive.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll come
Okay.
up.
I gotta start that.
Go eat your cornbread, Popo. No, Bailey, you can
You
have
can
it.
have it.
It's all good.
Yes. I see my pastor watching, and he will attest whenever we go to breakfast. Hi, Rabbi. Whenever I eat off everybody's plate. So just everybody be warned. I'm gonna start asking like Bailey. You gonna eat?
That's how you do it. That's the only way.
I get it. See if I get kicked out the church.
You know what? You're not. Out in Stoketown, California, my friend John Wesley Greathouse III, who normally has his whole family sit down and listen and watch Shop Talk. They hold hands and sing Kumbaya while we doing Shop Talk. I love it. My dude, John Wesley Greathouse, says we watch Friday right after church, back to back. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. And Yolanda says to me that I'm tripping because Friday was everything. I get it.
It was everything.
First Friday was lit. So says Dee Dee Felder. One has to go. Stacy says life would have to go. DeGeorge Hines says house party. I get it. My son, bless his heart, he's telling people to log off. Anyway, listen, I am impressed at all the different people that we have hanging out. My cousin Michael Williams he hit me back talking about let's do it. Let's go bike riding, and we should, because I need to get your big tail up and make things happen. So it's all to the good. All right, y'all.
Is it only the millennials who said life? I was trying to gauge it, but it's only the millennials.
No, it was a mix. It was a mix of everything in life. Yeah, it was a bit of all of us. Still got people in. Lena Arnold just chimed in and said life, and so many more people. But Tim Poston Sr., my brother, Tim Poston Sr., what is up, man? Organist extraordinaire. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
I so much watching Tim from a distance on how to play that Hammond organ. He says that house party can go for him. House party. You know, I like the one.
That's how you learn the dances, like for real. It was like,
yeah.
No, I no.
I can't.
No.
That was a college movie, just like School Days.
Right.
That is my favorite movie.
Yeah, it was better than School Days to me. You know what? I tell you what. Let's get ready to take a very, very quick music break, and let me see if I can find what I'm looking for, because the one thing I love about Freedom Radio is that we get artists that tune into us, and I've got some recent music that came to my doorstep just the other day. And let me see if I can find it, Jesus, because it is necessary for me to be able to promote those who promote us. Davares, you okay over there? She's lagging.
I am. I'm very lagging, but long as you can, I have a voice. I am heard. Yeah, amen and hallelujah.
You are being heard.
Yes.
And here's what we're going to do. We're going to, if I can find this.
Who you going to play?
Hold on.
I think I know who it is.
You think you know? I got a new song.
Did it come out on Friday?
It come out on Friday.
Ooh.
Let me see if I can find it. I am having a moment. I am having a senior moment. So DeGeorge Hines, came out with new music over the weekend. Anybody know? Do you know the name of the song off the bat? Y'all know I'm getting old now. Y'all see all this gray?
Don't claim it. Don't claim it.
Okay, I don't have to claim it.
And you see how they sitting there watching you struggle too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Tanisha Mathis is tuned in. So we were talking about Tanisha a little bit earlier. Holiness is standard. All right. So we've got all the right people hanging in. Live again. Okay, great. Thank you, DeGeorge. You're so smart. And he puts the song in here. And now if I can just find it on my computer. Thank you, Lord Jesus. DeGeorge, you are so smart, son. That's why the Lord has blessed you just to cut all your hair off. That was wisdom. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this quick music break. We're gonna play my dude, DeGeorge Hines. He has brand new music. When we come back, I got a couple questions for y'all. I need y'all to help me out with something. So let's take this break. We'll be right back with more right after this.
My heart was heavy from the weight of sin. My life was dreary, there was no way to live. Didn't know I was drowning in the whirlpool of doubt and despair. Trying to ignore all the thoughts from all my rejection. Tried to cover my pain in fear of detection. Then you came along in all your perfection and changed my life.
No peace within, just like a sail torn by the wind.
Gave me hope to live again.
No peace within, just like a sail torn by the wind.
You gave me hope to live again. I was bound by a prison that I could not see. Frozen by shackles, I could not break free. I lost my identity to a world filled with shameless greed. So you showed me your hand and showed me the way. You showed me a peace the world cannot take. I'm so glad that you gave me a reason to live again.
No peace within, just like a sail torn by the wind.
You gave me
To
hope
live
to live again. No peace within.
torn by the
No
wind.
peace within. Yeah, yeah,
To
yeah.
live again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You freed me from sin that I could never atone. So I will never have to be alone. Lord, you set me free. Set free. Oh, yes, you did. You broke the chains that were holding me. I'm free. Free. Oh, who the Son sets free is free indeed. No more chains holding me. No more chains holding me. Oh, I am free. Yes, I am free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I looked at my hands and they look new. Looked down at my feet and they did too. You set me free. Oh, indeed.
That is new music from DeGeorge Hines. Lord have mercy. That is a great, great song, man. I'm glad that we got a chance to play that. And welcome back, everybody, to Shop Talk, where literally no person and no subject is off limits. Now, today's show has been kind of going a little bit of everywhere. We obviously talked about all the things that's happening in the world. But I want to kind of talk about, and shout out to my dudes, Seymour Bryce, hanging out with us, trying to make a joke, talking about gray hair supposed to mean wisdom. Yeah, I know. I have more gray than you, Seymour, even though you're at least 12 or 13 years older than I am. I'm just making a joke. Anyway, welcome back, y'all. I am so grateful to have y'all hanging out. Let's talk what's real, though. Aside from all of the looting, all that kind of stuff that's happening, we mentioned the mere fact that we're still in this whole coronavirus thing. And a lot of people are still working from home now. I want to let y'all know, yesterday was Pentecost Sunday. I did get up out of my bed and I actually physically went down to my church to be there for my pastor, just so he could, if he wanted to, God, he will. I wanted to be there to be able to play for him while he went through that. And just to kind of we had some great church. And there was only 3 of us in there, me, DJ, and Bishop. We had some, I know he will. Yes. We did all of that. And I was like, yeah, go ahead and preach to nobody, Bishop, but preach to everybody. You understand? It was all good. We had a great, great time. And hopefully you all had a great Pentecost Sunday as well. Now, again, coronavirus is still going on. People are still working from home. People like Sabrina and so many others. Now, DeGeorge Hines, who is now I think he said he worked for Google. Now, Google is allowing their people to work at home to the end of 2020. And I know
it's a blessing.
Huh?
It's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Yeah, that is a blessing. That is a blessing. And and when I found out that Google was working at home for the rest of the year, I said, you know what? I'm working at home for the rest of the year too. So that was an inside Apple joke. Anyway, but Sabrina, people like you who are, who work from home, you're kind of in and out doing a little bit of both. But some people are going to be working from home for the rest of the year. I mean, what's your thought on that?
This won't be. I would love it. I think it's a blessing. This will not be permanent for us. We're going back. Once they can figure out how to get us all in the office and able to socially distance safely. What they are saying is, they may do a rotation. Like you in the office this week, maybe week by week, but you just ain't going to be at home comfortable.
Wow. Well, you know what? Okay, now Stacey Williams just chimed in and she says that she's working remote until sometime in 2021. So let me ask you this. Now, many companies have been teeter-tottering and contemplating and thinking about letting people work from home, before this happened. Obviously, as I work for Apple, I work exclusively from home and have been come August, will make 5 years. I can't believe it.
Wow.
5 years that I've been employed at the little small tech company based in Silicon Valley. But everything Apple Care, from Apple Care, from iOS device, people who support iPhones, people who support Mac, people who support iTunes, our managers, the managers above them, the managers above them, everybody that's associated with Apple Care, we've always, well, at least that I've been there, have worked from home. And it's been great. Yes, I sometimes miss having an interaction from, people in a physical building, but I still like the fact that I can work from home. What do you guys think? And Jacoree, I'll ask you, what type of effect do you think this will have on companies who have had these big campuses built around the country? People have moved from one city all the way to North Carolina, and they've moved to Austin. They've moved to the Bay Area just to be able to be a part of this campus. Now they have the option to work at home. Jacoree, how do you think this is going to affect some of these companies going forward?
Well, I think just as a whole, the whole world is upside down. So you just kind of got to sit back and watch, because I've actually talked to some of my friends, and working from home for them has been very difficult because they don't know how to make that separation. So I have to actually call her and tell her, hey, it's time for you to take a 15-minute break. Go sit off on the ledge, because you'll begin to start carrying that job in your home. So it's really challenging for some.
Okay, I feel you. Now, there are other people, and I don't know if Jared Lott is still hanging out with us. I know that he had been working from home for a spell. I think he's now back in his office. But there are other people who, for their whole entire career have had to commute to work. But now, for people like me, I don't have to commute, and that part of it is cool. But do you think, Davares, as moving forward, that companies will force everybody to come back to work? Or do you think for a lot of people, the work at home is working and that they think they'll stick with that? What do you think?
I think it's a great opportunity to expound on blending. I think you can reach more people and get more productivity if you blend some that prefer to be at the job and some prefer to be at home. Some jobs, you have to have that interaction with people. Just like with me, I'm a cosmetologist. When they lifted that second phase, they was blowing my phone up. And it was like, can you do it now? Like, I can just, hang my head out the window of the car. So some jobs is just imperative. You have to be with people. Also with schools, this is where it's going to get, where it's going to hit the fan. These implications that they're trying to put in schools that's already overran with too many kids and one teacher. Then you're going to try to have 6 feet between people in the classroom. So right now in North Carolina, they're asking people, how do you feel about remote learning? And, do you want to come back or not? So I think it's going to be like a rotation or something. But still, you have like 35 kids in one classroom. That means if it's 6 feet apart from each other, that's like 10, 13 kids in a classroom. Then they want all the kids to be with that one teacher for the whole day. You can't eat in the cafeteria. You have to wear a mask all day. Like, me wearing that mask for like a good 15, 20 minutes, depending on what I ate, is something, that's a whole other story. But it's amazing because it's like all these different changes is really completely changing the DNA of how we operate in this earth realm. So my main concern basically is about the kids, because a lot of kids, especially younger ones, that's how they learn who they are, how to, interact with people, peers of their, own age and everything. So it's going to be kind of crazy. And I have teenagers now. So they out of that B1 teacher. That was elementary school. Yes, I did say elementary.
I hear you. Well, I mean, so Sabrina, now again, aside from you who, kind of go back and forth and may ultimately be going back into the office, we had Ms. Renee chime in a little earlier saying that she didn't have the luxury of working from home, and she's been coming to the office during the entire pandemic. Now, tell me, what do you think about the people who, when it's over, when they say it's safe enough for people to go back to work? Do you think every company is going to entertain that? So, like, let me give you an example. Like people like Comcast now are letting people work from home. I'm sure you've seen the commercials. AT&T are now letting their people work from home and make that happen, make that transition. I think some people like that who are doing, maybe customer service oriented type stuff where they're set up in that type of fashion, it may work for them. But what about other people? Bree, what do you think? How do you think it's going to have an effect on people going back into the office?
So I will tell you, my staff has been pretty vocal that they don't feel safe and that they don't want to go back. So I can absolutely kind of anticipate that I'm going to see some doctor's notes, some medical leaves of absences, and all, because, at the end of the day, when the rubber meet the road, people got to do what they got to do for their own health and safety. Right. So I don't know that I necessarily feel safe, and that I will just in the next couple of days or so. So I think that there are those people out there as well who will fight to protect themselves to be able to stay at home, especially if they can prove productivity. My concern is daycares. Daycare centers reopening. And I'm not sure, because you can't tell 2 and 3-year-olds to socially distance. Like, how do you do that? But then you have parents who are essential workers and they have to get back out to work. So that's kind of where my main, heart is, and the concern. What are you going to do about these daycare centers for these babies and these infants?
Well, I know here in North Carolina, they have had the daycares open for essential workers. So that's been ongoing since the beginning. So, But I think that helps out because the other kids that parents are not essential are not in the daycare. So the numbers are so much lower. So that worked out. We haven't had any, problems with that. But you're absolutely right, because them kids want a hug all the time. Right. That's my friend, Right. So that is nearly to impossible. And then, going back, trying to backpedal with, like, I'm looking at my 12-year-olds and my 14-year-old, like, they starting to understand who they are and learning how to socialize. I forgot who was talking about the social. Leah Marie, I think. Yeah, she was talking about socializing. That is pinnacle at a preteen's life. Like, you learn, okay, do I listen to you or do I just stand on what I understand? And it's just, it's hardcore. And being a PTA president, seeing all this stuff all the time in these schools, and then how these people are making these decisions that are not in the schools. Doesn't make any sense at all. It's like apples and oranges, and I don't get how you
PTA president.
That thing, girl, that's a whole nother show right there. Okay, especially when I'm the only one with the others. Okay. Yes. So that is hard when you're advocating for your babies, and not just my babies, but it's hard. So, but it's just, how can you make these decisions when you're not in it? Yeah. So, and that was important that what Sabrina was saying, like, some people don't feel safe, and you have to honor that too. So,
well, I think another side note is for some of these jobs, like, I don't know about you, but back in the day, I wanted to be one of the bridge toll collectors. Now with that job, I feel it because I thought it was cool. I could play my music and, still make me some money, and I ain't really got to deal with nobody. Give me your $4, $6 and keep moving. But we're at a point to where we've seen that they may not really be needed. If you can just send a letter and make the people pay. So I'm like, some of the jobs, I think will be eliminated. So I think that's a little scary
Agreed.
too. So I'm just like, what jobs do you feel as though are not necessary now?
Exactly. That's a big question.
That is a great point, Jacoree. You know, going into this pandemic and coming out, that is a great question. What jobs not only are essential, but what jobs are non-essential that might be ultimately eliminated? Now, I've seen a lot of people saying that they won't be able to open up again. Like I've heard a couple of Nordstroms will not be opening up again, and some other stores that won't be opening up again in different places. The mere fact that you mentioned the whole toll taking, yeah, I mean with the whole thing that we use now to pay, what is it called?
The fast track.
Fast track. Thank you.
Fast track.
You're not a senior, I am. I was having a senior moment. So yeah, I mean the whole fact that most of us now use a fast track to get through the lanes and get through traffic and all these type of things.
But a smart person would go with it, not to cut you off. Because the thing is, if you don't pay those tickets, guess what? I'll see you at the DMV. You won't get your registration. So I'm like, guess what? Just open them up. Let us just drive through. You know?
Yeah.
So Dito, I know I mentioned about the daycare centers and the preschools, and I just want to shout out. Didi says her preschool has not closed, but they've made some changes. We take temperature, and we only let one parent can sign in and out at a time. She said lots of parents lost their jobs, so the head count is down, and we're praying for those parents as well.
Amen.
Definitely. Now wait a minute. Now I thought Didi ran her own kind of like daycare, and she just.
So Didi has some nieces that are dynamic. They opened up their own school, so Didi supports them. They're dynamic, like they trend-setting young Black girls. They are Black girl magic. So they have a center. So she supports them, and then on the days that she's not supporting them, she's Coco to her grandbabies.
I love it.
And she is great with them. Like
she's a great Coco.
Yeah.
I want her to teach a class with other grandparents that don't, they still think they too young. Spend some time with your grandbabiys.
No, we can just have babies and take them to Didi. So Dito, if y'all have another baby, Didi will keep them. Davares, Didi will keep your baby court.
You know,
look, them grandparents gonna be very jealous of Didi, because let me tell you, it is hard to resist a Didi Felder. Okay.
Come on. Yeah. Well, tell you what, here's what we're gonna do. Shout out to LaSharay Johnson hanging out with and so many more. I wanted to give a shout out to Naaman Birkendahl hanging out with us from Denver, and so many people are chiming in today. This is absolutely amazing. But I tell you what is getting ready to happen. We're getting ready to take a music break. When we come back from this break, we are jumping into today's Ask Shop Talk, and you can see Sabrina. I see. So you already know what it's going to do. You already know what it's going to be. Here's what we're going to do. Let's take this quick music break. My dude Kevin Moore has brand new music. It just so happens to feature yours truly. Take a listen to this, and we will be back in just a second. I'm ready. Here we go. Let the church say amen. Let's go. church say. Yeah, said the church say. You know what I want you to say? Amen. Amen. Oh, the church say. All right, y'all, we are back. Welcome back to Shop Talk, where literally no person and no subject is off limits. Again, shout out to Kevin Moore for allowing me to be a part of his brand new project. And it is available on iTunes, Google Play, wherever it is that you download or stream your music. It is available there. All right, it is time for us to get ready for today's Ask Shop Talk. This is where we should give it over to Sabrina. Now, Sabrina, before I give it to you, just want to let you know that the thoughts and opinions of Ask Shop Talk are not necessarily the thoughts and opinions of freedomradio.com. With that being said, my sister, the virtual floor is now yours.
I am so grateful to be back for another installment of Ask Shop Talk. But Tole, I realized we didn't even get to talk about the verses that happened yesterday.
You know what? We'll talk about it.
We didn't.
It was amazing.
Okay.
We got to talk about that before.
We gotta talk about the verses. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. You go jump in Ask Shop Talk, and then we'll get ready for
put
verses.
it in there for me.
Here we
All
go.
right. So today's Ask Shop Talk actually, I took it from someone, but I figured we need to give these folks some help. So dear Shop Talk, my boyfriend of 15 years is in prison, not jail, prison. We have 2 children together. Our relationship has been rough. We had a fight and he went to jail for it, the fight. Another reason he went to prison is that he violated his probation and failed to report. I take the kids to see him and he still wants us to be together. He has nowhere to go when he gets out. How do I tell him I don't want him back at my house without him retaliating on me? Now, saints of the Most High.
My Lord.
Breathe.
And a hush.
Because there's a hush because you play too much. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
How are we supposed to answer that?
Help her. Didi. Well, I'll go to Didi. She didn't already started. She said, I'm not finna, F-I-N-N-A.
Yes.
I'm not finna be no girlfriend for 15 years. That's a problem. 15 and 2 kids later. That's a problem. Lashari Johnson says, send it in a 4-page letter sealed with a kiss. See, that's the kind of stuff that get your mama's house blown up. Don't play with my house. Bahati Worley say, how are you in a 15-year relationship with someone in jail?
Oh, that's a long time.
Lashari said, tell his parole officer. Yeah. You send a Dear John letter through the parole. Now that's wise.
Wow.
Xavier and Cynthia Garrison say, get a restraining order.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's jump into it. Let's take a look at this. So he's in there. So
he's in prison for a fight that they had. So clearly, he's not always rational. It's not working, but clearly he's not always rational. So, to be like, hey, check this out. It's not working. That might not go over so well.
But
you ain't got no place to go. Jail give you 3 hots and a cut. That might be his ticket back.
She empowered him though to think that it was cool by going up there, visiting and taking the kids. So she empowered him in his mind to think that when I get out, that all is going to be well. So it's not that I'm passing blame, but she has empowered him to think the way that he thinks. So
did he, in that 15 years, did he not have the right to see his children? And if so, how was he going to do it if she didn't go?
Make better decisions.
Right.
Hey, glory.
Better decisions. He's in jail because of a bad decision that he made. It's really not her fault that he's in jail. And she should not have to reap the repercussions of his bad decisions. So
I agree.
Being in jail,
clearly he probably laid hands on her.
Right. So being in jail is not a luxury. She doesn't have to go up there to visiting. And if she does, she doesn't have to take his kids. Now you making it seem like we're family when we're just in a relationship. I just so happen to have 2 kids by you. She did too much by going up there. I've been watching a show called For Life. I don't know if any of y'all have watched this on ABC over the last few months. I've been watching this thing called For Life, and just watching this show has given me a whole different perspective. I have never been arrested. I have never handcuffs. I have never been to jail. I have never smoked nothing. I have never drank nothing. I'm just one of them. I'm one of those rare breeds. But you know, the mere fact though that I've seen jail from a different perspective just based on that show.
Yeah.
Her taking the kids is a luxury. She shouldn't have been taking the kids, and because of that, she has empowered him to think that all things is going to be good when he gets out.
Yep. So listen, I definitely want to hear from Jacoree. I definitely want to hear from Davares, but I gotta go to Facebook because you guys are absolute maniacs, and I'm talking of the lunatic variety. Miss Kennedy got some thug in her. She said, "Easy, you can't come back here, and you don't want this smoke, so keep it moving to your mama
right,
house."
That smoke.
LaShaw says, "Call him on his iPhone and tell him. Then go see him and explain a little better." My cousin Derek Murphy said, "You communicate that with that good old-fashioned restraining order." I will repeat the question in just a moment. Stacy says, "First of all, stop visiting his monkey head. That will send the signal to him that things aren't okay." My girl, Denisha Sexton, move away and don't let anyone know her new location. I would have packed up a long time ago. I'm not gonna lie. Stacy comes back and say, "When you become physical, that ended the relationship." Cynthia Garrison says, "Tell his mama to start taking the kids up there and listen. And while she at it, she can come swing by and get his stuff." Leah Marie says, "Please read the question again." Dito, can you put it back up there for me, please?
Yes. Let's put it back up just for everyone else. Here we go.
All right. Dear Shop Talk, my boyfriend of 15 years is in prison. We have 2 children together. Our relationship has been rough. We had a fight and he went to jail for the fight. Another reason he went to prison is that he violated his probation and he failed to report. I take the kids to see him and he still wants us to be together. He has nowhere to go when he gets out. How do I tell him I don't want him back at my house without him retaliating on me? So she's fearful of retaliation, guys.
Ooh-wee.
So Lena Arnold says, "Tell him now so he'll have enough time to cool down before he gets out, or he has enough time to plot a plan." But either way, Bahati says, "That needs to be known before he gets out. That way he's prepared and not caught off guard." When I asked about the children, Stacy said, "Your children will always be your children, but we're not going to be together." Diamond Fee said, "Oh, no. We broke up when you went to jail."
Oh.
That day, we broke up.
You break up when you go to jail?
For 15 years? For putting hands on me? Listen.
No, they haven't been in there 15 years. They've been in a 15-year relationship.
No, Will. Well, clearly this was not his first rodeo if he was already on probation. He been rebel rousing.
True. That part.
So, Jacoree, what about you? What are you thinking? What would you tell one of your sisters who was in this situation?
I would tell her, once you reach jail, most people like letters. So just get your best fragrance. Let him know. And spray that letter down so he can sniff you for the last time.
She's so petty. Here's a sniff for the road.
That part.
It ain't happening.
Oh my God. Okay. So
Davares, what about you? What are you thinking?
My concern is I'm more on the whole mental thing. And if she's been allowing this whole situation, this been transpiring for years.
Yes.
So it's hard to unravel and take away layers because she has to be ready. You're speaking out of fear now because you've been taking it back all doing this 15 years, going back and forth anyway.
Yeah.
Second thing is my issues with the children. When you expose your children, and I don't know what the age they are, but it doesn't matter. When you expose your children to see their father in a state of lockdown, it's not just what he's transpiring to them, it's the other spirits that's transpiring in that room too. So they picking up seeds from different places. I think one way we could say, hey, this is not healthy. She do need to tell him why he's in there. This is not healthy. Let's start with the health of our children. because I know you love your children and I love them too. And we want to make sure that they have a better state of mind than what we have. So we can work together in doing this, because right now for us to be together, for them to constantly see that with you is not healthy. And I want you to have a fair chance when you get out to have a better relationship with them, instead of just sitting up here always seeing you in a state of, lockdown.
Anger and rage,
Right. We can start there and just, put the benefits of the children there first. Then, she needs to build up to make sure she's going to stay there, because we got a lot of women that she's speaking out of fear. And is this the real true, decision that you want to make? Because if it is, you have to stay on it. And you have to, she's the strong one in this situation versus the husband. I mean, the boyfriend or whatever his status is. So if we could just start building a relationship of knowing what's best for the children, then say, hey, this not good for them. So it's probably best that we need to, not do this. They got halfway houses, so don't trip. You do have somewhere to go. It may not be somewhere you want to go. But let's build up so we can give our children more than what we had. And if we start there, it'll be all right, hopefully.
That's really good. That's really good. That's really good. I want to get back to Facebook real quick. And hopefully there will be an opportunity to have that kind of rational-minded conversation. It literally just depends on who you're talking to and where they are.
Exactly.
But getting back to Facebook, Lashari says, seriously, I think she should just tell him. He know what he did. Explain how you want to move forward and leave it at that. Now, if he starts talking crazy, then go to plan B and do it in advance.
Agreed.
CJ Thomas, she needs counseling for real. Why are you a girlfriend for 15 years? Leah Marie says, sounds like she still cares. There's domestic violence shelters that will protect her and her children. Bahati said, if she's afraid of retaliation, she needs to change locations. Right? Agreed. Cynthia, Xavier and Cynthia Garrison, she didn't say that she didn't want him back. She said she don't want him at the house. Let me see, I need to go back and look, because that's a caveat there. But I mean, if I want you back in my life, then
right. You know what I'm saying? The flip. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Didi says, I'll have my cousin them. Get him on the yard. We're going to cut this thing off at the path. Bahati said, if my sister had a guy she was afraid of, I would have her live with me. Most women abusing men won't stand up to another man. That's really generous and courageous. And I pause when I say that, only because domestic violence issues are so dangerous. Mm-hmm. If you look at the statistics, they said most law enforcement officers are killed in the line of duty intervening in domestic violence situations. Mm-hmm. And I know me as a woman myself, if I was in this particular predicament, and like you all said, like, is she really done? Is she just fearful? I wouldn't want to drag any of my family members into it. Oh, I wouldn't. But I love that a brother will stand up and say, you know what? I got you. Right?
It's so layered. It's so layered. And it's like, it depends on what your definition of love is. So if you grew up in a house that abuse is how they show love, that's normal to you. You know, and it on like versus somebody that didn't grow up like that. That's crazy. That's insane. Why would you be in a situation like that? Why you keep going back? It's sometimes generational curses, sometimes what you're exposed to, sometimes what you really think, and all that is, wrapped up in a nice gift that you make it be okay. And it depends on what she dealt with. It depends on what he dealt with. And that's why I was saying we have a start with our children. Even though half of our children got your DNA and my DNA, we can break this curse now. You know what I'm saying? So we can make sure that they can have a strong foundation of living a healthier life than what we did. Because this is not healthy either way you look at it. So, but I think she do need to go.
And I also think she needs to go, and sometimes we need to just go look up what the definition of love is, because sometimes what we've seen is not really what love is. Because some people show love through gifting, some people show it through their fists. She needs to sit down and get some help. They both need some help, because it sounds like that song "Break Up to Make Up." That's all we do.
Yeah.
That sounds like that's what she's doing.
Yeah. I want to finish up with Facebook, and then I'm going to turn it back so we can move on to the next subject. But Barbara Cockrell, who's a PFBCer, thank you for listening, Miss Barbara. She says she needs to tell him while he's in prison, and she needs to move. And I just kind of thought about him getting out with his little hobo bag on a stick and showing up to an empty house. Like, I don't even know what that would throw him into something. Miss D Stewart said, hey, Miss D.
Hey,
she
Miss
says,
D.
And in response to my fact about police officers and DV, she says a relative was killed when he assisted his daughter in a DV relationship that she knows. Jared Lott says 15 years in prison. They do not even know one another still. Jared, that was my bad. I don't think he was in prison for 15 years, but they've been in a relationship for 15 years, right? Miss D says she's a survivor of DV, and prior to her experiences, there was no DV in her family. Okay. And the last comment I'm going to read is from Miss Lena Arnold. She says, this.
Yeah, that's Lena. Lena, be not Lena. Be nice.
She said, this nig been beating her, and she's still visiting. That's crazy right there. She needs help and counseling for real. By all means, though, she needs to tell him. Leah Marie, I promise this is my last comment. Domestic violence issues are multi-layered. She needs to get professional help. And I agree. This has been another installment of Ask Shop Talk. Tole, the virtual floor is yours.
Thanks, Bree. And as usual, you play too much. Golly, man. Another great Ask Shop Talk as usual. Listen, we're looking at the clock. We're almost out of time. But before we go, Bree is right. We have to dig in to what happened yesterday. During all of this, now we've had many different things happening on Instagram and on social media. I personally watched the John P. Key and Hezekiah Walker battle, if you want to call it that, about a month or so ago. And there have been others. You know, I think it started with Teddy Riley and Babyface, and it's kind of going from different people to different people. But yesterday on Instagram, I don't know if it was on Facebook too, but on Instagram, at least I saw the high number of 275,000 people at one time watching Kirk Franklin and Fred Hammond with Sabrina, a taste of Tamala Mann, who used to fight. That was funny. I saw that.
And Marvin Sapp.
I didn't see Marvin Sapp. That must have been
Marvin Sapp was on there too.
He was good too.
I missed all that. But I think
he was on earlier in.
Somewhere in that area. And anyway, it was completely amazing. Now, take nothing away from Hezekiah Walker and John P. Key. They are hit makers, of course. But when we just look at it from a different standpoint, the video quality on this one was amazing.
Sound.
The audio quality on this was amazing. Bree, Jacoree, Davares, I think they finally hired some young kids, some little tech kids, to make things happen. And it was a lot better. I mean, Bree, what did you think about the whole thing?
I felt it was healing. It was cathartic. I hadn't realized how much of a psalmist Fred Hammond was. But like all of the songs that they chose, and they both have extensive catalogs, and there was no way they were going to be able to hit them all. But the songs that they chose were healing and ministering. I cried a good while. And I mean, after Tamala Mann, and then Take Me to the King, and then Fred Hammond came right behind her singing Just to Be Close to You. I mean, I did that ugly funeral cry. I felt so much better. It was amazing.
It was amazing. I agree. This particular one to me was better thought out. I saw that they had a list of stuff that they was going to go through, and the person who would run the music already knew what was kind of coming up next, and they did their own intros into everything. They had their own little T-shirts made up. I thought it was absolutely great, very well thought out, great production. They were in the same place.
Right.
That was important.
Thought made a big difference compared to the other ones. I'm a big fan of both of them, and I was doing cool. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Until Fred started playing "Running Back to You."
Yeah.
Then
it's time to run.
I was having some, and what I really loved about it was the fact that it wasn't just us church folks that was watching it, and it wasn't just church folks that were familiar with the music. Snoop Dogg was on there, and he was telling them, "Man, play the whole song. I remember this song." And I seen Chris Paul was on there from.
It was a lot of celebrities.
I seen Stephen Curry was on there. I mean, there was so many people from all walks of life. What's the little girl that used to be in Destiny's Child and that's now on Greenleaf? Different people. I mean, there was tons of people on there. Jacoree, man, I'm sure you got a chance to catch it, man. What's your thoughts and opinion on it?
You know what? I thought it was amazing because right now, I'm thinking back with what's going on in times right now. Back in the day, we had Marvin Gaye sending messages during, when they were going through the trials that were happening back then. And I just think it's a great time to see our celebrity stars actually reach out and give comfort and give joy, give help. Because I also yesterday saw Jamie Foxx and Tank were at Third Baptist in San Francisco doing Inspiration for Justice. So I just think it's time for those special creatives to take their platform with them. You know what I'm saying? Spread that word, spread that joy. It was great. Thought out, planned, all of that.
Most definitely. And
Dito, one other thing I enjoyed, their chemistry. They were hilarious. It was entertaining. It was funny. They had great chemistry yesterday.
Yeah, it was great. Now you always got to have somebody to make you laugh. So Stacy comes on and she says, but they weren't physically distancing.
They know they
took temperatures.
When you know somebody ain't got it, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
They took temperatures and stuff. They nose wasn't running. Nobody was sniffing.
Yeah. It was good. Forrest, did you get a chance to check it out? And if you did, what was your thoughts on it?
I did. What I think is power in words. So one, they didn't use battle. I was very proud of them. They used verses. VS is verses. So they're talking about the words from the songs. So what they was doing is preparing the mind and preparing the spirit for what was coming. So we was already, familiar with their songs, but it brought us back to when we got saved. It brought us back to, when we had our moments, when we heard the songs and stuff, and it was comforting, but it confirmed who God is. And I thought it was very important when they just used verses. Listen to the words, and the connectivity. And this is another reason why being social is very important, because energy, we feed off of each other's energy. When you are on the same basis and the same road of saying, this is what we're planning on doing, the whole purpose, just like what Sabrina was saying, it was healing. That was one of their goals. They wanted songs to heal. They wanted songs to set free. They wanted songs to, make it feel good versus it's you and then it's me. No, it's us. And we're trying to do the same focus and the same message. I was very proud of them. I had a lot of memories listening to a whole lot. I remember when I had the CDs and the cassette tapes. That's when my mind was going back like, God, and it was Tamala. If I could have just legally punch her in her throat and not get in trouble, let me tell you, that she brought that from the bottom of her toes. And I know she sung that song 50 million times, but with the times that we're in now, it was more different. It was, it's just rustic and feeling, and that's what we needed. It all connected us together as being saints and children of God. And we all children of God. And like you said, celebrities and people that, doesn't practice, gospel music was in there. So I was very proud.
Yeah. It was great. I got a chance. I think I missed the first hour, and I caught the second hour. And maybe that's why I missed Marvin Sapp. But it was absolutely amazing. Again, I think the whole fact that they were in the same place, and yes, Sabrina, they did have an amazing chemistry. But they're true friends. So it's not like they're just two people that do the same thing. They're actually friends. So
it was read well too.
Yeah, that lended to the chemistry. All of it went very well. Again, the audio was great. I was really, really concerned on what the audio was going to sound like, especially after hearing the last one with John P. Key and Hezekiah Walker. They're great friends as well. But the audio quality of that one just wasn't up to par, as my mama would say. And but I'm glad that they took the time, they did their research, they probably learned from other people's former mistakes, and they did what they had to do to make it be great and professional. I loved it.
Yeah.
I think I only heard one mistake when the guy restarted Smile, but they made a joke out of it, didn't even trip off of it, and kept things going. I thought it was absolutely amazing. And just to see people. And from
I like the fact that he was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry,
you
I cut in.
this.
I like the fact that he played.
Yeah,
live.
That was very important. That was so. It was. You can feel it. Without the other, parts of the song, it was just very acoustic, very here and now, very I feel it and smell it. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was awesome. Definitely awesome. Listen, I am looking up at the clock, and in doing so, I'm realizing that it's time for us to get ready to go. This time that we spend together goes by so quick. But do me a favor, if you haven't done so as of yet, absolutely, if you missed any parts of it of today's show, obviously you can rewind it and watch it again on Facebook. You'll be able to hear it again on our podcast channel. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad, open up the Purple Podcast app, search for Freedom Radio. You'll be able to hear previously recorded shows of Tole Live, of High Tea with Bree, The Countdown, Better Together, and of course Shop Talk, with more to come. Can't wait to get ready to bring on Mix and Mingle into the of shows.
Yes.
It's absolutely amazing. Now, looking up at the clock, it's time for us to go. Jacoree, any closing comments, final thoughts?
I just actually want to shout out the late Betty Wright with the song No Pain, No Gain. Knowing that all that's going on, guess what? This pain, there's going to be gain. And know that you're necessary. That's all I got to say.
That's good stuff, man. I appreciate that. Davares out in the North Kakalaki. Any closing comments, final thoughts?
Yes. Know God's love, because God is love. If we start from there, then it's easier for us to reciprocate that love to others. So just opening up your ears and heart to the Holy Spirit and allow him to guide you into what your purpose is on this earth realm is so important. So it's time to refocus and, do what God called us to do. I love y'all.
Most definitely. Good stuff. Shout out to my dude, Willie Logan, who says that he's a first-time listener, first-time viewer, and he says he'll be back. He thinks that this is a great show. Appreciate you being on, man. Look forward to seeing you in the very near future. Last but not least, Sabrina, closing comments, final thoughts.
Just want to invite everybody to join us this Thursday for 2 hour special of High Tea with Bree. 2 hours we will be live on Facebook. 1 hour we will be here on Freedom Radio. We will have a 6-panel discussion about what's happening now, focusing on where's the church and what their responsibility is. So if you're looking for more information, go to the High Tea page, or you can check out my personal page. Love you guys. Looking forward to seeing you again next week.
Most definitely. That's good stuff. Listen, I'm going to let that be a closing word. That was great. Till the next time on this same Shop Talk Network and time, my name is Tole. You know how we do it. I want y'all to be blessed.